Hello, and welcome back to the Manic Inquisition. A couple weeks ago, I did a live Manic Inquisition for a retreat. The retreat was on using human design and brilliance to better inform your life and your brand. And so I did not record that session of the Manic Inquisition. So I thought what I would do today is an at-home edition where you are my quizards, and I will ask the same questions that I asked at the retreat. So that means you are the quizards. So go grab a friend, go grab a family member, maybe a possum, maybe a family of possums. I don't know. The point is, grab somebody, play some trivia, have some fun with your grabby, and let's do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask all of the questions one after another because that's how time works. And then what I will do is at the end of each round, I will go over all of the answers. And so that is when you and your grabby can figure out who got the questions right and who's in the lead. And you can decide amongst yourselves whether you want to play it where whoever buzzes in gets to answer first, or everybody could write their answers down on a sheet of paper, and then everybody who gets the questions right gets a point. I don't care how you do it, just as long as you have fun. So please, for the love of gourd, have fun. So if you're ready to be a quizard, how about we play the Manic Inquisition? Let's go. So the retreat I did this for was all about human design, but I wanted to know what you all know about designing women. Remember Designing Women? Such a good show. Okay, all of these questions will be about women who design things, or about the show Designing Women, or I don't know, we'll see what happens. Here we go. Question number 1. What French designer, pictured here, launched a number of perfumes? She looks happy, doesn't she? Question number 2. What designer has made custom wedding dresses for the likes of Chelsea Clinton, Ivanka Trump, and Kim Kardashian? And for many other people. Think of a wedding dress designer is what this question is. Question number 3. In the book of Genesis, when God designed Eve, what material was she sculpted from? I guess it's probably not just from Genesis. I mean, a lot of religions share that story, I believe. But what was she sculpted out of in Genesis? Question number 4. What was the family name of the characters played by Dixie Carter and Delta Burke on the sitcom Designing Women? And if you're answering this live, you need to give it in your best Southern Belle Atlanta accent. So, something better than mine, preferably. Question number 5. How many episodes of Designing Women were there? For this one, it could just be whoever's closest. Question number 6. Who were the stars of the 1957 romantic comedy Designing Woman? There's a movie poster for it there. So if you happen to be an expert on 1950 movie star caricatures, this is the question for you. Question number 7. In 2017, what pop star with 14 number 1 hits launched Fenty brand cosmetics? If you don't know it, I'll give you a hint. This pop star usually goes by one name. Fenty is their last name. Question number 8. In 2020, what actress with 14 major acting awards designed a candle that smells like her vestibule? We'll go with vestibule. It's a family show. I mean, families can say vagina. Question number 9. What terrible 1985 John Hughes movie was about using science to Frankenstein together the perfect woman? Terrible was redundant in that sentence. And finally, our last question in Designing Women, question number 10. What Italian fashion designer was parodied by Maya Rudolph on Saturday Night Live, and apparently other places, a bunch of times? I don't know how many times. It was a lot. Maya Rudolph is hilarious. That is all I will say about that. All right. Let's jump right to the answers. So the French designer pictured in the first question was, of course, Coco Chanel, looking a lot like Marge Simpson from the episode where she wore Chanel. Funny that. What designer has made wedding dresses? It's Vera Wang. In the book of Genesis, God designed Eve and sculpted her out of Adam's rib. Talk about a spare rib. Whew. The family name of the Designing Women sisters? The Sugar Bakers. Sugar Bakers is what I just said there. The Sugar Bakers. I haven't seen that show since I was like 12 years old. I loved that show. It's hard to believe I thought I was straight. How many episodes of Designing Women were there? 163. Not a bad run. Not a bad run. All right, for question number 6, that is, of course, Lauren Bacall and Gregory Peck. Out of the way, Peck. That is a Willow reference, not of the pill variety. Fenty brand cosmetics was designed by Rihanna Fenty. So Fenty brand cosmetics was actually released to much acclaim based on the fact that all of the cosmetics came standard in 40 different shades. So very inclusive. And then, of course, in 2020, it was Gwyneth Paltrow through Goop that released a candle called This Candle Smells Like My Vagina. Interesting fact, there are also 2 other candles released in that line of candles that also smelled like her something else. If you know it, shout it out now. But the 2 other candles were, This Candle Smells Like My Orgasm, and This Candle Smells Like My Prenup. So, fun, I guess? Oh, Riri and Gwenny. So much in common, those two. All right, question number 9. Of course, we're talking about weird science here. I've never actually seen Weird Science, but it's 1985. It's about nerds creating a perfect woman. I'm pretty sure it's terrible. And finally, of course, that is Donatella Versace. Mrs. Versace, if you're nasty. Okay, round number 2. It's all about things that are brilliant. So if you, my lovely quizards, are ready, let's jump right to it. Question number 1. What star in the Earth's sky appears the brightest? If you're standing on Earth, looking at the stars, which one's going to be the brightest? Question number 2. According to Guinness World Records, how long was the 2009 fireworks display in Dorset, UK that holds the record for the shortest unintentional firework display? You can answer in seconds, minutes, hours. And again, we'll do whoever's closest wins the point. Question number 3. Boxes of what brand of scouring pads were made into art by pop artist Andy Warhol? Looking for the brand of scouring pads. Scouring pads. That's a weird word. Scouring. 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 Oh, those scouring pads, getting things so brilliant. Question number 4. What kind of brilliant act does Wikipedia define as any trick, shortcut, skill, or novelty method that increases productivity and efficiency in daily life? Question number 5. What brilliant physicist won the Nobel Prize in 1916 for discovering the photoelectric effect? Discovered many other things. They were brilliant, but they won the Nobel Prize for discovering the photoelectric effect. So just name your favorite physicist. Speaking of physicists, question number 6. Which Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is commonly considered to be the smart one? The brilliant one, if you will. Pictured here, being brilliant. Question number 7. What is the largest bioluminescent animal on planet Earth? Question number 8. Which one of these diamond cuts seen below is brilliant? Only one here is considered to be a brilliant cut. Which one is it? Question number 9. How many facets does the brilliant cut diamond have? Again, whoever's closest can get the point. And finally, in things that are brilliant, question number 10. British people say brilliant a lot. Like, a lot. What's up with that? Oh, yes. 'Tis brilliant, isn't it? Oh, Cecily, nobody says brilliant anymore. Anymore. I am leaving that all in. All right. So hopefully you've got all your answers in. If you don't, go back and listen to them again. But let's go over the answers for things that are brilliant. Question number 1, we are looking for Sirius or the dog star. Sirius or the dog star are both acceptable. Those are both the same star, and they are the brightest, as seen from Earth on the surface. Question number 2, the world's shortest ever unintentional fireworks display, as per Guinness World Records, lasted 6 seconds. So apparently what happened was they were actually going for the record of the biggest fireworks display. So they had 110,000 fireworks on a barge in the middle of the English Channel, and something happened, and they all ignited at once. So 110,000 fireworks on this barge just blew up in a matter of 6 seconds. So I guess Guinness World Records felt sorry for them and just gave them a different record instead. That's fun. It's very participation ribbon-y of Guinness World Records. Question number 3, that is, of course, Brillo pads. Brillo brand scouring pads. And question number 4, those brilliant acts are life hacks. I can remember back in 2015 when basically the whole internet was either just listicles or life hacks. And most of the time they were listicles of life hacks. And they were just so ridiculous. I mean, the first 1 or 2 would be something like, oh, yeah, maybe if I cared about picking up eggs with water bottles, I would do that. But then, the rest of the stuff just became, really basic advice. It's like, oh, do you have problems with sunlight coming in your windows? Try using a piece of fabric as a curtain. Or, are you short on cash? You could sell your discarded swimwear to perverts. It's like, yeah, this is stuff Nana taught us when we were 5. Thank you, Life Hack Listicle. The 1916 Nobel Prize for Physics went to Albert Einstein. Did not win his Nobel Prize for relativity, but for the photoelectric effect, which now allows us to have solar panels. The Ninja Turtle there, that is, of course, Donatello. The largest bioluminescent animal on planet Earth is the giant squid. It is bioluminescent, so it makes its own light. Which one of these diamond cuts is brilliant? Well, if you went for the first one, top left, that is the round brilliant. So good on you if you said the top left round brilliant. And of course, the round brilliant has 58 facets. If you got that exactly, you are either a jeweler or I am very worried about you for knowing that. And British people say brilliant a lot. Yeah, because they're British. I mean, what else are they going to do? I don't know. We make fun of things British people say a lot on this show. But that's because they say a lot of things that are funny. So, why wouldn't we? Nobody says brilliant anymore. I don't know. I wish I had something funnier to say there. Hopefully you said something fun. If you said something funnier than me at home, you get an extra point. Alrighty. Our theme for round 3 is famous retreats. Ugh, no one can retreat from Johnny Depp these days. Here we go. Question number 1. What sketch comedy group shown below were simply following the orders, run away? Question number 2. In 1812, what country's army was forced to retreat from Russia on foot? Question number 3. You're walking in the forest. Suddenly you're standing in front of a lone black bear. What's the best way to get away without being eaten or attacked? How do you retreat from a black bear safely? Question number 4. What is the Naval Support Facility Thurmont, a common retreat center for the President of the U.S., better known as? What is the Naval Support Facility Thurmont, more commonly known as? It is a retreat center for the United States President. Question number 5. Is it possible that my gum line will just continually retreat until my teeth fall out? That's something to think about. Question number 6. After you steal your neighbor's prized goat and you get sent to Alcatraz, you escape and swim to the shore of the nearest city. What city are you in? Basically, where is Alcatraz? According to official records, in Alcatraz's 30-year tenure as a working prison, how many people tried to escape? And question 8, how many people are thought to have successfully escaped alive? Question number 9. What does a man with androgenetic alopecia have? And finally, question number 10. In 2009, there was a Vince Vaughn / Jon Favreau movie called Couples Retreat, where couples retreat to a who cares? Give me a number in percent that falls between its critics rating and its audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So on Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it a rating out of 100, and the audience gave it a rating out of 100. I want a number in between those two numbers. All right. So if we're all ready for the answers, here they are. So for question number 1, that is, of course, Monty Python, who are running away. Monty Python's Flying Circus. Question 2, in 1812, it was France. Napoleon led France into Russia, and they had to retreat on foot. They had to retreat on foot because the Russians, unfortunately, are very good at war. And they knew the route that the French would have to take back to get to France. And so they basically just denuded the whole thing, ripped out all life on there. So they had no food to gather on their way back. And so they were forced to eat their horses. So that's fun. Isn't trivia fun? Okay. How do you get away from a black bear? Best thing to do, don't stare it in the eyes. Keep it in your view. Try and walk back slowly, and hopefully the black bear will move on and not be interested in you. If it does still seem interested in you, what you want to do is make yourself look bigger and make as much noise as possible, and the bear should go away. And of course, this is only for black bears. Question number 4, we were looking for Camp David. Camp David is where POTUS goes for his special retreats. Question number 5, is it possible? I mean, I don't know. It's never happened before, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen in the future. I don't know. Ask a dentist. I'm not unless you're an anti-dentite. I feel a lot of people out there are anti-dentite. All right. Basically, what city is Alcatraz just off of? That would be San Francisco. And in 30 years of Alcatraz being an actual prison, there were 34 prisoners who made escapes. 2 of those tried again, so 36 individual escape attempts. And only 2 of them conceivably got out alive. There were 2 guys who managed to escape and potentially swim to shore. Their bodies were never found. It is possible that they did make it out alive, but we just don't know. What does a man with androgenetic alopecia have? If you said no will to live, I'll give you a point. But it's male pattern baldness, a retreating hairline. I have been prepared to go bald since I was 7. I'm still waiting for it to happen. I'm convinced it's going to happen. I don't know how I would feel if it did. But this is for me to worry about, quizards, not you. So we'll move on to question number 10. The Vince Vaughn Jon Favreau vehicle known as Couples Retreat. The critics gave it a whopping 10%. The audience liked it a little bit better and gave it 39%. So if you said anything between 10 and 39, you get the point. Good job. All right, so that was famous retreats. And now we move on to round number 4, which we are calling Ole Ole Ole. So in this round, what's going to happen is all correct answers will be near rhymes of the word ole. And you must chant your answer to the tune of ole, 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 ole. All right, so remember, these are going to be near rhymes of ole, and you must chant your answer. If you don't chant, you're an infant who doesn't get the point. I just came up with that saying right now. Can you believe it? Yes, I can. All right, so I've got an example in case this is unclear. So the example question is, what type of eel, known for their pharyngeal jaws, killed my father? Don't worry, my father's actually alive. So if you knew the answer, you would say, moray, 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 moray. Because it's a moray eel. All right, now that we all know exactly what we're doing here, let's start with question number 1. Who painted this painting? Question number 2. What was the name of the corral where Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday famously fought in 1881? Alrighty. Question number 3. What kind of French coffee would be served in one of these bowls? A type of French coffee. This one isn't so much a near rhyme as it is something else. Question number 4. Starting at the very beginning, what are the first 2 notes of a musical scale? It's a very good place to start. Question number 5. We're looking for a natural gas with the chemical formula C3H8. A very loose near rhyme of ole. If you can't get it, think of King of the Hill. Question number 6. What the scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz had? Think about it. Number 7. In 1952, the company Oil of Olay sold face cream that was actually a pink liquid and looked like this. What is the company called now? Ooh, I hope you got that one. Question number 8. What Canadian entertainment company's name translates to Sun Circus? Canadian entertainment company translates to Sun Circus. For question number 9, we're looking for a Mexican sauce typically containing fruit, nuts, and chili peppers. And it is delicious. And finally, question number 10. How did many immature and not inaccurate teenagers describe me in high school? How did horrible teenagers describe me in high school? All right. Hopefully your voice is all hoarse from chanting by now. So let's go over the answers, see if you got them right. Question number 1. That is, of course, painted by Claude Monet, 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 Monet. And number 2, there was a famous shootout at the OK Corral. Question number 3, of course you would be drinking Cafe Olé, 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 Olé. Yeah, so not so much a near rhyme, but the exact same word. I know it's 2 words. Jeez, I could feel you yelling at me. Oh, when you start at the very beginning, which is a very good place to start. When you read, you begin with ABC. When you sing, you begin with do, re, do, re, do, re, do, re. Question number 5. I sell propane, 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 propane. And propane, propane accessories. What the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz famously had was no brain, no brain, no brain, no brain. All right, Oil of Olay recently changed its name to just simply Olay, 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 Olay. It's a good job if you got that. The Canadian entertainment company is, of course, Cirque du Soleil. Soleil, Soleil, Soleil. I guess if you did so, if you sung it in a French accent, you were a better person than me. Soleil, 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 Soleil. I apologize to everyone involved in that. The Mexican sauce is a mole, 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 mole. And finally, teenagers in high school would describe me as so gay, so gay, so gay, so gay. So that was fun. I hope you had fun with that round. I know I definitely did. And we're going to move on to round number 5. So this is our final round, all about brand recognition. And I'll point to you if you recognize that B is in itself a brand. Here we go. Hope you know your brands. Fingers on buzzers. Or whatever else you want to put them on, that's fine too. Question number 1 in brand recognition. When you walk into a grocery store and buy a Sheese brand product, what are you buying? Question number 2. What brand of beer does Homer Simpson typically drink? The answer is not Fudd. In the 1960s, what brand of cigarettes did the Flintstones endorse? Which is just in and of itself a wild question. Question 4. What brand was married to Katy Perry from 2010 to 2012? Question number 5. What brand of brandy sells a Louis XIII cognac for $4,300 at my local liquor store? Which is the only one I buy. Because I be fancy. The B stands for brand. Question number 6. Do you recognize this brand logo? So that is just a portion of a very famous brand logo. Do you recognize it? Question number 7. What brand is this? I have whited out the middle part. Can you tell me what brand it is? Question number 8. What is objectively the best prize you can win on The Price is Right? Like, you're about to play Plinko. What are you hoping Johnny announces is your prize? Is it Johnny? Danny. It's Chet. That phrase, Johnny, tell them what they've won, would be much different if his name was Chet. Chet! Tell them something. Tell them something, Chet. I don't know why I find that so funny. Question number 9. What Canadian actor played George of the Jungle, was in Airheads, was in Encino Man, and hunted mummies in the Mummy trilogy? And finally, our last question of the evening. Which of the following was never an official Pepsi brand? Was it Pepsi Pink, a strawberry milk-flavored Pepsi? Was it Pepsi Peeps, a marshmallow-flavored Pepsi? Was it Pepsi Salted Caramel, Pepsi Salty Watermelon, Pepsi Cream Egg, or Pepsi Holiday Spice? Whew. All right. So those were the questions. Now let's go over the answers, see what you got right, see what you got wrong, see what you got in your pocket. Question number 1. When you walk into a store and buy a Sheese brand product, you are buying vegan cheese. And about twice a year, I have someone text me a picture of vegan cheese that they found in the grocery store. It's like, did you know this exists? It's like, yeah, it's existed for a decade now. You are the 20th person to send me this picture. Please keep sending them. I love them. Homer Simpson famously drinks Duff beer. Duff beer for me, Duff beer for you. I'll have a Duff, you'll have one too. Question number 3. Winston's. Winston's cigarettes. And if you go onto one of the YouTubes, you can find very easily a commercial from the 50s starring the Flintstones that lasts about a minute of just Barney and, what's the other one? Fred. That's his name. Smoking Winston cigarettes, trying to escape their husbandly duties of mowing the lawn with a thing that is sometimes. It's not awesome. Give it a go. Russell Brand. Russell Brand was married to Katy Perry from 2010 to 2012. I've been told that Russell Brand has recently become a conspiracy theorist, which kind of makes me sad, but doesn't really affect me because he's not part of my life. I mean, he can do what he wants. Moving on. The brand of brandy is, of course, the only brand of brandy that I know. Remy Martin. That's probably nowhere close to how you pronounce it. Remy Martin. Remy Martin? I don't know. Do you recognize this brand? Technically, there are 3 different answers that I would accept as correct for this. First, the obvious one could just be no. No, I do not. And if that is accurate, then you get the point. Then there's also yes, to which I would have no follow-up questions. But you could have also answered Amazon. That is, of course, the arrow going from A to Z in Amazon, which also looks like a smiley face. My mind's been blown. Question number 7. This is the logo for Lego. It's the Lego logo. Good on you if you recognized it. You have kids, or you are a Lego maniac. Of course, what you want Johnny to say is, it's a brand new car! Boop, boop, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. This is not the song for Price is Right. I am totally blanking right now and cannot think of the song from Price is Right. All I can think of is, wah, 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 which was also probably highly inaccurate. Fun times here. The Canadian actor is, of course, Brandon Fraser. Maybe not, of course. And finally, which of these is not a Pepsi brand? If you said strawberry milk, you are incorrect. If you said Peeps, you are incorrect. If you said salted caramel, you are incorrect. If you said salty watermelon, you are incorrect. If you said cream egg, you're correct. Cream egg is one I made up. I think that would be delicious. I think it would be better than Peeps, because pretty much everything is. And Pepsi Holiday Spice was a real one as well. That was basically cinnamon flavored, which sounds absolutely delightful. I want them to bring that back and give it to me directly in my face. Hook me up. All right. So I hope you had a fun time. I hope one of you lovely quizards won. The winner today wins, I don't know, eternal satisfaction, knowing that you won the Manic Inquisition. Hooray! Good luck with that. All right. I hope you had fun. I know I definitely had a blast. And so all that's left for me to say is good night. I'll see you some other time in my life. And goodbye.